Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back for another video. So let's continue off of the off-season coaching with Wahid here. We're doing this. This is all via online, a local client of mine in Toronto, but all doing online. And we have left off at making sure the shaft goes up steeper in the backswing. So as things progress, it's very easy for things to kind of get lost in translation. So we've talked about the hand path going in and up, but as Wahid is doing the steeper shaft now, he started going hands too far in and back with the steep shaft. And it's very common for things to kind of get lost. I mean, if we improve 4 or 5 things, but then one thing's regress, it's still net positive. We're still ahead 4 things. So all we got to do is eventually work back on bringing things back into the right spot. But so what Heath here, this is kind of the last video he sent me in that last step of making the shaft steeper in the backswing. If you guys haven't watched it, I do have step 3 on the channel. We worked on making shaft steeper. You can see now that Wahid, even though he does a good job of getting the shaft steep, his hands are going in and back, and we don't really want that. So what do? Well, so I start helping him feel like, again, reminding him hands go in and up, feeling like the club head stays outside his hands the entire time. And as a checkpoint, I have him feel like his arm hand club unit goes straight up once the club passes the right shoe. So when I'm talking here, so turning to let the hands go inside. So what you're going to do is you're going to feel like your arm hand club unit as one gradually comes inside, and as you pass your right foot, then you go straight up. You can see if I'm blending this straight up with the turn, things are still moving inside and back, but things are really in front of my chest now. So really, I explained to him, I want him to feel like he goes straight up. Because he's still turning, the hand path is going to still go in and up. But I don't want him to fake the hand path by shoving his arms back like he's done. So I want to make sure he goes in and up. So that's the up without the turn. If we blend that together, we should look nicely organized at the top of the backswing. So let's see what his first try looks like from here, making sure he feels like the arm hand club unit goes straight up after the. So this is his first try of him trying to feel like his arm hand club unit goes straight up as a club passes his right shoe. So let's see how it looks. I'm going to play the normal speed first. So it's definitely a little bit better, but there's still a bit too much back movement in the second half of the backswing. So he starts the takeaway good, but from around here, around P2 shaft parallel to the top, his hands still work a bit too far back. So what do I have him do? I screenshot something for him on the left here, showing him that from that position, around that position in the backswing, I want him feeling like his arm hand club goes straight up along the green line versus the red line. So that's the instruction I had him try to think about. How he does this, we're going to see on the next attempt. So with his next attempt here, let's see how he looks. Definitely different. So his hands go in and up, and his hand path is much more different. His elbow is staying in front of his rib cage at the top of the backswing. So much, much better. Way better job of getting his hands going in and up while keeping his hands in front of his torso rather than the original swing before I asked him to make sure his hands are going in and up. The original swing of this video here, his hands went too far in and back in an effort to keep the shaft still steep. So a lot of good progress here. Video on the right, he's going more in and up now, keeping things in front of his chest, in front of his torso. Things are looking much cleaner. And at the top of the backswing, his elbow is definitely way in a much better spot in front of his rib cage rather than the video on the left here. So that's the refinement I wanted him to do for me. We go back and forth, we refine things, and as we continue, we eventually get to this point before we refine the next thing. So hands go in and up. The feeling is the arm hand club unit going straight up once the club passes the right foot. It's not perfect, but he's doing everything I want him to do in a pretty decent range. Things don't have to be perfect. As long as we see it move in an acceptable range for a duration of time, we can then move on to the next piece. So this is where he's at now with making sure he feels like his arm hand club unit goes straight up after the initial in. Pretty good. Good enough to move on to the next step. And then I'll show you guys a face on as well. And this is a face on the right. turn still looks quite good. Lower body centered, upper body moving slightly away from the target, and then whatever happens, happens in the downswing. So I'll let you guys see it in normal speed one time. I don't really care about the finish right now. The finish isn't great, but that's not important right now. So one more time at half speed for you guys. Finish is not great at the moment, but again, I don't really care. Downswing, I don't really care as well. Most important thing is he's executing the pieces that we've talked about right now. So at this point, the thing we've worked on most recently now, which is a point in this video, is just helping him do a better job of combining the hands in and up with the steeper shaft backswing. So his sequence, his club passes his right foot, then he feels like it goes straight up, elbows in front of his torso, in front of his ribcage pretty decently, and then whatever happens, happens in the downswing for now. Face on, he's done a great job of keeping the turn of upper body turning slightly away from the target as his lower body stays centered. And then again, whatever happens, happens in the downswing. So hope that helps, guys. We're, again, layering pieces on, layering pieces on, layering pieces on. We're going to work on the most important things first and then build things and refine things later on. So stay tuned for the next video. We're going to work on is, if I remember correctly, I help him improve the top of the backswing a bit so that the club is not pointing up and kind of across the line. So I think that's, if I remember correctly, that's the next thing we're going to work on. But stay tuned for that video. Any questions, leave it in the comments below, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks, guys.